Who is interested in starting a small business or who would like to improve their small business?
Yes.
We do. We do. As a matter of fact, we do.
There is a program called Women Inspired, and now it's also Next Steps, because some women have already gone through the program and want to continue to improve. And there are some who are just starting out and are interested in just learning all about what it takes to have a small business.
That's awesome.
It is sponsored by Access Agency, and we get a little bit of funding from the Community Foundation through the Women and Girls Fund. So I'd like to invite you to join me, and some of you already have, in this program, which offers educational courses, free workshops from you once a week for a few hours to learn what it takes, going through the different aspects of how to start a small business, how to write a business plan, how to do marketing, accounting, financing, the legal aspects. Besides that, what we have are some mentors who you can pair up with, and they can help you identify any questions that you have, give you some answers, give you some resources. And then we have a vast handout that has all these different resources, like we try and connect you with the Small Business Association, the Small Business Development Center, SCORE. There's so many numerous resources, I can't tell you enough how many there are. And then there's also the Women Inspired Networking Group called WING, where you're allowed to come and you talk for about a couple hours about whatever it is that you have questions about, learn from your peers, you share, you answer questions, you provide what worked for you. And so it's a great opportunity to really network and get support from other women who are going through the same exact experiences that you are in starting a small business. At the end of that, so after 2 months of workshops, then you have the opportunity to write your business plan and submit it for a grant to hopefully obtain a small fund that will allow you to purchase something towards starting your small business or improving it. So, Mary, you've been involved with the program now for a year. What would you like to share about it?
Well, I'm so happy that everybody decided to come today to my house, Henrietta House Bed and Breakfast. I had already opened it when I got involved with the Access and the Women Inspired Network. I learned so much from them, and especially I was very impressed with all the presentations that were made by all your speakers. And I have actually gotten further in touch with some of the folks. I actually went to SAMA,
Spanish American
Yes.
Association.
Because what I really felt like I needed was a lot of the stuff with financials. So I went to them for the QuickBooks training and really enjoyed that, got a lot out of that. And then I also have been working with the accountant that you have, David Inns. He's been helping me with my taxes and all that sort of thing, and helping me figure out how to keep track of my day-to-day expenses and income and all that sort of thing. So that's been very helpful. In addition, I was able to get a grant, which allowed me to finish up my fire suppression hood, get that done and put in, and which is going to allow me to have my full permit, be fully permitted for the bed and breakfast. So all of that was very helpful to me in opening my bed and breakfast, or in keeping my bed and breakfast running.
And it's a lovely place.
Well, thank you. I agree that it is. I love it myself. So
I'd like to add to what Marion has said, because I have found everything to be the same for me also. The handouts, and especially the people who have come to support us in our venue have been there all along. I've been able to email them and meet with the attorney. I've been able to meet with the accountant. I've also been up to the SBDC, and I now have my own personal advisor who keeps me on track and helps me to just focus on a few things so that I can get what I need accomplished. And was able to finish my business plan also to a point of getting a grant, which has also helped me further, getting some help from the Intellectual Property Clinic up at UConn to do a trademark for my business, which is one of the stumbling blocks I had when I first started my business, actually in 2008. I actually came to a halt, and it's being resurrected now, and everything seems to be falling in place. I'm actually a social entrepreneur. The reason I have my business is to create a message for people to understand that there possibly would be an alternative lifestyle that they may have not considered or even known about through specific Christian acronyms, and actually my logo itself is very thought-provoking. My logo says, "Spirit over intellect is greater than intellect over emotions." Currently I'm producing t-shirts, and I have a specific audience who actually believe the whole philosophy behind what I'm promoting. I also have baseball caps and other items of clothing, embroidered denim shirts, and a variety of clothing. But initially I'm starting off with the casual wear. My initial marketing will be to the 25,000 youth who have gone to the Youth Congress last August, and they are really living for God and wanting to promote the message. So I believe this target market will really be able to penetrate the other people who are also interested and want to do the same thing. My next step would be to offer the product nationwide, actually, since the Christian community is very large. I do believe that other oneness organizations will want my product and will be able to continue to spread the word of the gospel by doing this witnessing with words, which is what my program is called. So I do believe the market is ready and people are willing to hear.
Actually, I heard about the program through my sister, who shared it with me, and I believe she saw it in the newspaper, I think. And so we joined together, and it's had a tremendous impact on starting my business, and the moral support that I get from the other women business leaders here is really great. That was something I was looking for in the beginning, was a lot of moral support. Also getting the grant, I applied for the grant, and I did receive monies to help provide certain things that I needed for my business. The grant application was actually easy. The business proposal was a little challenging, but once I broke it down into smaller chunks and worked on it, that was definitely worked better for me, because I tend to get overwhelmed by things like that sometimes. So it took a while. It was a lot of work, but it was well worth it in the end. Anything that you have to work, success doesn't come easy. You can't take the elevator to success, you got to take the stairs. But anything worthwhile doing, is going to be tough. So, but it was worth it in the end.
Well, I know that when I was writing my proposal, of course I'd written some before that, but when the SAMA person came in and talked to us about the business proposal, and I think you were in that class with me, did that help you any?
It did. It was a lot of information to take in. in the 2-hour class. So when I went home, yes, the information was great and it was all down on paper so that you could go back and refer to it after. But what I really found helpful was that when I went to a website and I found a template that were for writing business proposals. And you really just have to follow the template. It basically already discussed the same things that we discussed in class. It had all the same information as far as what you needed in the business proposal. You just had to kind of fill in the blanks. So that made it a lot easier for me to definitely write my business proposal.
And it sounds like you were helpful to everybody else with that website and everything.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a great support system here, a team of women business leaders who are really here to support each other.
Hi, my name's Elisha Sherman. I create upscale, upcycled functional art with my business thumbprints. I alter and repurpose everyday items such as tables, chairs, boxes, shelves, mirrors, frames, you name it, any household item I can repurpose.
What led you into this business?
Actually, I was unemployed for 2 years, and I've always been an artist. And actually, my friend and I had a habit of taking our old stuff and decoupaging things, new patterns and collages, and just remaking everything, giving them as gifts and presents. And I, of course, work at Access Community Action Agency, and I saw this program come up, and I was like, you know what, I should give it a try. When we first started out, my friend and I, we started on Etsy, which is an online store, and it was very easy, and we just could not believe how quickly things were selling on there. And so that's why I jumped into this program. I saw it as a way to expand my business and go out into the local markets. I now sell at the Slater Memorial Museum in their gift shop. And I also sell at Logi's, the rare and tropical fruiting plants over in Danielson, which has been very successful as well.
Now, I've seen some of your work, and your decoupage is not the ordinary decoupage. It really isn't.
It's definitely one of a kind and unique. And it's an elaborate collage, I guess I should say, and it's truly one of a kind. And that's another thing I like to do is people send me a lot of customized requests, and I can pretty much turn their vision into a showpiece. One of the biggest themes, I guess, is Alice in Wonderland, and believe it or not, I sell quite a bit in the United Kingdom.
What within the program helped you or guided you towards copywriting, and what did you?
We actually had a nice workshop with the Small Business Development Association, and they advised me that I need to look into trademarking my business, of which I found that there is a trademark on the thumbprint's name on certain items such as shower curtains and pillow throws, which is not what I do, but I now have to look in more in depth, and I'm glad that I have the support system to do that here.
And I think I may have a connection for you now, someone directly who you might be able to get that, get inside information on how to move that forward.
Well, that's wonderful because it is a stumbling block for me right now.
The Women Inspired program hold their workshops at Access Agency in Willimantic at 1315 Main Street and also in Danielson at 231 Broad Street. The workshops encompass a checklist for going into business, an overview of how to start a small business, and then we go into more detail like the legal aspects of a small business, trademarking, budgeting plan, the essentials of writing a business plan, the financial statements and taxes, marketing and trademarking. They're all held in these offices, except for our occasional trips. We go to the Henrietta House Bed and Breakfast that you saw previously. We went to the Grasshopper Art Studio and Maryland's Salon and Spa. And we also went to Click, a commercially licensed certified kitchen that offers affordable rental space for those who are unable to have a licensed kitchen in their home, and they train people for Safe Serve certification. In addition to that, we were invited by the partner of Adventure Park of Stores, who challenged us with their treetop obstacle course. It was a metaphor of the stages of creating and maintaining an ongoing business. We confronted our fears and no one turned back. And after this bonding experience, Lynn Stoddard spoke about the challenge of saving her family's undeveloped property by creatively repurposing it as a sports retreat.
Hi, I'm Jean Henderson. I'm a fine art photographer, and the name of my business is Jean Henderson Art. I was very fortunate to be able to get one of the first grants from the Women Inspired group, and it allowed me to do such things as get business cards made and get what was suggested to me by Diane of the Chamber, instead of a brochure, to do a rack card, which I have at the Mill Museum. It tells you a little bit about my background and gives you some samples of my pictures. And I was able to get a registered domain, jeanhendersonart.com, all of which enables me to have an online presence. Getting the grant also gave me enough confidence to sign up to become part of Artist Open Studio for Northeast Connecticut. This is a marvelous event that includes artists from all throughout the Northeast Connecticut region, where we invite you into our studios and give you a look at our process. People always seem to be extremely interested in how we create. I'll be doing it again this year, Thanksgiving weekend and the first weekend in December, at Maplebrook Studio and Coventry on Main Street.
So it's a win-win situation, and so we're looking forward to starting off a new Women Inspired Next Steps program. So if you know anyone, send them my way.
Hello, my name is Michelle Bachman, and the business that I intend to create is a nonprofit organization designed to aid and support individuals on the autism spectrum. I'm basing it on this model, which is out of Westfield, Massachusetts. This is Building Autistic Community. And what we are is a peer-led mutual support and personal development community for adults on the autism spectrum. Okay, this is my second year through this program. My first year, I knew I wanted to do something to help people on the autism spectrum because I am on the autism spectrum myself. Beginning, I wanted to open a transitional home for young men on the spectrum who wanted to attend college away from home. Because a lot of times these kids are bright enough to have the grades, but they don't have the executive functioning or the maturity level to actually survive in a traditional college setting. And so I wanted to create a home that had supports with them, you know, like maid services, and also they could receive counseling and other issues to learn about how to cope with their issues of autism a lot better. And that was just too overwhelming of a task for me to undertake at the time. I didn't really know anything about all of it. There's insurance issues, there's the purchase of the property, and you know, everything. It was a great idea, but I didn't know how to go about it, so it was just too big. Going through the process of the program and having to write the business plan and the grant proposal, it made me see how many ducks I did not have in a row. So yes, that I really knew I needed to narrow it down. I'm taking the program over again this year, and I hope to achieve a small nonprofit organization that is designed to support adults on the autism spectrum. So I've broadened my scope to not just young men, but to all adults on the spectrum.
Why are you so passionate about this?
Because it's a very personal issue to me as an adult on the autism spectrum myself. I got my diagnosis after the DSM-5 was rewritten, so my diagnosis is actually autism spectrum disorder. I lived my whole life having problems with social communication, nonverbal communication, making social faux pas, not understanding things and having the same type of learning process as other people do, always finding myself at odds in educational and particularly employment situations. I knew I was a bright person, I was a very creative person, I was a very inventive person. I could come up with some really great ways to find the back way around a concept that I was struggling with and make it easier for other people to understand. But I'm not accepted in right on the face value of who I am because of my differences. And I've struggled my whole life not understanding what it is about me and why I can't seem to get it together and why I have 4 college degrees and no career to speak of. And when I
got my autism diagnosis, it just all made sense. It all just fit right in. There is a huge lack of services in all of Connecticut and most of the country, but definitely in Connecticut. That is what I just discovered after getting my diagnosis. You're just given this information and you're not really given any roadmap of what to do with the information. And I want to reach people like that and help them specifically, but I also want to broaden society in general's awareness.
So it sounds like you came from the program professionally, but it also seems like you may be benefiting personally by utilizing the Women Inspired networking group.
Oh, definitely, definitely. The friendships I made in this program is what I think I gained out of going through the program the first time. Being on the spectrum my whole life, I really was, the shy, awkward kid. If you get me in a classroom where I know what's going on, I can look like I'm confident. I can look like, I'm neurotypical is the term of someone who's not autistic. And I may have even at points in my life had people looking up to me thinking that I was a model student, but that is all like an act that I put on. I mean, the person I was inside was a very frightened person who didn't think anyone would be interested in being my friend because I didn't think I had a lot to offer. And I made some really great connections in this program, and for the first time in my life I was able to say, hey, this is me, I'm autistic, and that was okay. I found some very open, loving people in this program who gave me incredible guidance that helped me and other projects that I've been working on that, boost my confidence with having success with those projects. So I feel that I am a person in a much better place to take on a business at this point, whereas before I was just overwhelmed and lost and didn't really feel I could grow into those shoes, and now I feel confident I can do it.
That's awesome.
That's excellent.
So one of the difficulties and why we have a particular program focusing on women is that there are a number of obstacles that women face in our society. One of them is that they're generally the main family caregiver, whether it be children, whether it be older adults, or aging aunts or uncles. And then there's also jobs. Some of these women have a number of part-time jobs, so they can't commit and give the time that they need to start their own business. They may not have a supportive husband, or they may be divorced and a single parent and raising children. So there's a wide variety of reasons why women have a difficulty in becoming an entrepreneur. They also don't have the assets built up that they need to put into their business. And so we look for ways to try and decrease those obstacles so that they have an opportunity to be involved in the program. Now I want to introduce our newcomer here, Judy, who did register for the program last year, but again, she was one of those who had other problems and she could not commit to coming to the program, so she finally joined up near the end of the program and on the wings sessions that we have, and it's been an inspiration just in attending one meeting. So Judy, would you like to tell us about your experience with Women Inspired?
Sure. My name is Judy Quinn, and my business is called Inspired Home Solutions. And it just took one session back in February for me to realize that I could actually have my own business. My obstacle was trying to take the skills that I had and slide them into a business idea where I could still perform a service for the community. I spent years as an occupational therapist, and I helped our senior clients recover from fractured hips and injuries from falls at home. And so then that's when my idea was born, that I could provide services, home safety service and fall preventions for the seniors still living in the community. And it's because of this group that I was inspired back in February to start the business. And they gave me the support, and it was just a terrific experience. And from here forward, I'm going on with the idea. So I went to this meeting, and I was thinking about an idea that I thought I could do. And so I threw it out in the meeting. It was kind of a roundtable type of discussion. And once I introduced the idea, it was like the room lit up. It was like electric. And that's what motivated me to go forward with the idea. It was about preventing falls in the home for seniors. It's senior focused, and that's what we do as an occupational therapist. We help our seniors get back on their feet after injuries or illnesses. But my business is about fall prevention and safety in the home. I went home very excited, and I did lots of research on the internet. I connected with the SCORE agency, and I met with 3 volunteers. And actually, I got a lot from that. They advised me step by step what needs to be done. And went back to the second meeting and spoke all about what I've accomplished in the last month. And as of right now, Inspired Home Solutions is up and running as a real business. It's registered and insured. Well, most importantly, I expect being involved in this entrepreneurial group is the support and the education to grow the business, because it's at the very beginning phase, and I really want to help spread the word, because it's a real serious problem out there. As we age, and I have to say I'm a senior myself, our abilities change, and our houses have to adapt to these changes. And if we don't do that and become proactive, we could be one out of three adults over age 65 will fall this year. 40% that get admitted to the hospital are not going to return home to live again. And that's sad. And I found out as an OT that most of these falls could be prevented. It was simple modifications. Picking up scatter rugs, grab bars in the bathroom, handrails, proper shoe wear. Make sure your shoes aren't slippery on the bottom. Anti-slip tape in the tubs. It's just like not expensive modifications, but it's just being proactive to prevent that fall, because we all think it might not happen to us.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of what you're saying is awareness.
It is, and it's
which needs to be promoted, just like Michelle was saying, the awareness, because I myself am dealing with my father, who came from a nursing home because my brother thought it was the best place for him. Mm-hmm. And we've had to make modifications by having somebody of your caliber come to our home as an occupational therapist and go through the house and say, this is what he needs to be safe here. Yeah. So it's actually so rewarding to hear that you are doing this for people, because it's such a need out there.
Well, that's what, as an occupational therapist, you're dealing with certain clients, and the first thing that they ask you is, when can I go home?
That's
you
right.
want to get them home.
That's right.
But you can't always do that.
That's right.
Okay.
They're not safe.
So now your service encompasses, you've got, and I know what you've said, you've got your carpenters, you've got whatever. Just give us like a laundry list of what you offer.
Okay. All right. Through Inspired Home Solutions, what we'll do is we'll go in and do a room-by-room inspection of the home, a visual inspection, and kind of discover risk areas for either fall or safety, including smoke alarms, lighting, something as simple as putting in a night light in the hallway. And after that, after we do the inspection, we'll give you a list of recommendations, and you can implement them yourself. You don't have to implement them. We recommend that you do. We can help. We can install the grab bars, comfort height toilet seats, and handheld showers, bath seats, the anti-skid tapes in the tubs, stairways. Our vision can decrease a bit as we age. So there's reflective tapes that can go on the stairs. Handrails outside are so important. The lever door handles, they're easier to manipulate for people that have arthritis. It's just an overall inspection of the property, and there's no pressure. It's just we're trying to help. My name is Judy Quinn. My business is called Inspired Home Solutions. I can be reached on Facebook at Inspired Home Solutions, and we are located in Plainfield, Connecticut.
My name is Michelle Bachman, and my small nonprofit organization's name is Eastern Connecticut's Building Autistic Community. We can be found on Facebook under that same name, Eastern Connecticut's Building Autistic Community. And we will be having our meetings coming soon at the Willington Public Library, which is easily accessible off of I-84.
Hi, my name's Elisha Sherman. My business name is Thumbprints. That's Thumbprints with a Z, and you can find me at www.thumbprints.net. And you can also find me on Facebook and Etsy.
I'm Sherry Penzine at Savannah Smiles Life Coaching. You can find us on Facebook at Savannah Smiles Life Coaching, or you can go directly to our website at www.savannahsmileslifecoaching.com.
My name is Beverly Rigler. The name of my business is Spirit Over Intellect. And you can find my message on my website, spiritoverintelect.com.
Hi, I'm Marion Matthews. This is my place, Historic Henrietta House, and you can find me at Historic Henrietta House, bnbct.weebly.com. We're also on Facebook at Henrietta House B&B, and Instagram, and probably various other places that my assistant puts me on.
My name is Eva Chete. I'm with Access Agency. Our website is www.accessagency.org. If you'd like more information about Women Inspired Next Steps program, please check in with our website and you can register right there online. Thank you so much.